We had
Potatoes au gratin.
Oh yeah, so good. Asparagus. Asparagus is always fun to have because you forget that you have it later, and you're like, oh yeah, asparagus.
Oh,
I did that when I got home. I was like, okay, well, welcome back to episode 37 of Property Pairings. I'm Eric Kinzler.
and I'm Mike Pavone.
And it's actually been a really good week. Do you want to start off with how your week started?
Why don't you start? Because I'm trying to take a read off of where you're coming from on this, because I have a couple of things in my mind.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the start of the week was good. I had tennis on Monday, which is always a lot of fun. I made some like errors. I think I'm still ranked number one, but I did not score as many points as the other guy on my court this time, so that was a little annoying. I know. Yeah.
Did your racket survive?
Yes. Yeah. I do have a bruise on my leg though, because I did a little leg tap. It's a little it's kind of like a horse with a whip, you know? It's like, do better.
I thought it was more like a John McEnroe. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, but I try not to like yell loud. I try to be sportsmanlike.
Tennis is a gentleman's game.
Yeah.
It's like horse racing.
It's classy. I'm pretty good.
I know you're good.
You know? Okay. Yeah. So but when I make dumb mistakes, especially against players who are like not very good, that's where it just really irks me, because you're like, everything in my head is like, you idiot. All you had to do was like, that ball just, he dinked it over. You could have done anything and you hit it into the net. Yeah. It just...
Is that how you feel like when we were playing Halo last night?
That was tough though.
We were on a level where he got stuck behind a post on a checkpoint, and if he sticks his head out to the right, he gets blasted. And he sticks his head out to the left, he gets blasted. And he's got nowhere to go.
And if I stay there, both those little zoomer guys were coming around the side. So there was no way to do that. And Mike's like, is there a bigger post you can... I'm like, I can't move. So I had to like...
I'm on the other side of the room trying to get over there to help him out. We must have done that part about 20 times.
Yeah. Well, and the part, like, it automatically restarts, right? So he's like, did you die? Well, if you didn't die, how else are we back to point A?
Just checking.
Thank you, because most of the time I'm like, dead. And then so it restarts and it goes back. He's like, did you die? I'm like, Mike never tells me when he dies. Not never.
It doesn't happen very often, so I'm just not accustomed to it.
That's how you should be. Like, it's, oh, dead. But me, I'm over there and I'm still like terrified I'm gonna die and be the one who has to start over the level again. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, yesterday I played poorly in tennis as well. So it was just like tennis and Halo were both just like...
You know what did it? Is when you showed me that ranking on Monday, I think it was Monday, he showed me a ranking of where he was on court one, first position. He's like, do you see? And like, I didn't have a lot of context, so I'm looking at like, well, I see your name there, but where is it? And he's explaining, oh, okay, so you're at the top. Got a little big for your britches.
Court one, number one.
Yeah.
Yesterday was just drills against good guys that just played poorly. So there was that. And then...
we matched.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did like a yin and yang match.
Still counts.
Which was annoying. And it's the one day we meet with a vendor.
I think that you're using that word wrong. It wasn't annoying.
It's annoying to me.
And I find it the most amazing thing ever.
I know. I enjoy that you enjoy it. That's for sure.
Thank you.
And then today we're also sort of, if it wasn't for this overshirt, we're both like monochromatic in our own ways. Very,
we're synchronizing.
Yeah. It's like military colors, kind of.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So, Wednesday was fun.
Yeah, so Wednesday, so Tuesday, he's like, I'm so excited for tomorrow. And I think you were running to this thing to like take your teacup back or whatever right before you were leaving, the cup of tea. And I'm like, what are you excited about? He's like, and you started mumbling out the door because like I wasn't paying attention or something.
I said you'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. I'm talking with Allison. I'm like, what is he excited for tomorrow? He goes, well, she's looking at the counter. Well, all you guys have is, we've got, we're going to have lunch at your parents' house. I was like, oh, that's what it is. So, do you want to tell them what we had?
Oh yeah, we had it was like a lamb tenderloin that she had flown in from somewhere. That's like grass fed, special
in.
grass. Yeah,
That's what she does.
yeah. So we had that. They
And
made three of them.
It had a reduction sauce on that.
Hmm. Yep. We had
Potatoes au gratin.
Oh yeah, so good. Have you had au gratin? Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite kind of potatoes.
Yeah. Asparagus. Asparagus is always fun to have because you forget that you have it later, and you're like, oh yeah, asparagus.
Oh,
I did that when I got home. I was like, oh yeah, asparagus. And
Okay.
then she also got some cannolis from the East Coast.
and you remember the show The Cake Boss?
Yeah.
His cannolis.
Oh. So what's his brand's name?
I have no idea. She's just like, no, these are the Cake Boss's cannolis. I'm like, well, she does that. I forget the name of that online
Gold Belly.
Yeah, that where you can like
right.
get things from famous restaurants. So she does that.
And they took down all of the Christmas stuff in the house except for the dining room table setup, right? So that way I could have my version of the Christmas dinner I missed out on. So that was really nice. Yeah.
And you had tequila with my dad.
Yes, your dad and I had a lot of.
Teeny tiny
Tequila.
pours, really teeny tiny pours.
Mike's over there. Oh, I'm already done with this one. I'm like, when you pour a teaspoon, of course you're going to be done with it.
We've
faster.
already established.
His dad is like a pourer, right? It's
Yeah, he'll start
it's
a
a
sen-
half glass. It's a half glass pour always.
He'll start a sentence with you and he's talking with you. Oh, yeah, sorry. Here, well, why don't you drink that? That counts as one.
Yeah, yeah. And if we're drinking the same thing, he looks at him. He's like, "Oh, that one's got more. Here you go." Go.
That's funny.
So that was
Well,
a
so,
great day.
and to kind of share with, like, at the end of lunch, I actually have to leave because I got to go pick up kids and then go do a showing. And I'm like, Eric, why don't you stay? So what is it? The day was yesterday. I was like, well, how long did you end up staying there? And he's like, I don't know, like an extra 30 minutes, an hour, just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging. I mean, we were enjoying our tequila and just hanging out at the table. Do you need anything else? Do you want anything else? I'm like, I am good, thank you. It's spoiled. I'm spoiled rotten. When I
Oh,
go
well, what
out.
else did you get sent home with?
Oh yeah, a whole thing of like dark chocolate from C's Candy. Yeah, so she buys them, I guess, and she keeps them in the house. But
Well, she
I
doesn't
think
normally
knows
get.
that,
She
like,
doesn't normally get dark chocolate.
I know. She knows Mike likes milk chocolate, and then she found out that I like dark chocolate, so now I get my own little thing. Yeah. I'm very competitive, so now it's like, how do I become the number one son?
You already are. It's like, how am I not 1,000 pounds too from my childhood?
Food is so good. Like, it's just. Yeah. We tore up those 2 tenderloins.
She's like, I made a third one just in case. Do you want some of that one? I'm pretty good. I'm full.
When you said she sent you home with some chocolates, I was expecting you to say like she sent you home with a doggy bag of just. You're like, I have lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, no. It's like a gallon sized bag of C's dark chocolates, like all mixed in there. Yeah.
Wow. Remind me next week. One of my friends from church is from Sydney, Australia. She went back for the holidays for maybe almost a month. And there's this really good chocolate brand called Whittaker's that I had when I was in New Zealand. And so I was like, hey, if you find some Whittaker's chocolate, can you bring me back some? She brought me back like 3 bars that are all like this big.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was, thank you. I
Yeah.
don't know what I was supposed to do with all of this. That would have been good with one.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have to bring you guys some. It is so good.
Yeah. Is it milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
So I got one that's just plain milk chocolate. The other one, I think it's milk chocolate, but basically what it's called is Hokey Pokey Crunch. And it kind of is like a Nestle Crunch bar on crack. It's like that texture with some kind of crunchies in the middle. It's unreal. It is.
Yeah.
I tried to explain it to her. I was like, hey, can you look for the one? It's got some like crunchies in the middle. She's like, Hokey Pokey Crunch. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Hokey Pokey Crunch.
Also, I should have brought you, there's these things called Tim Tams. There are these.
I've had those.
You've had those?
Yeah.
Okay. There's like chocolate biscuits. Really good. You could like dunk it in your coffee. They just like melt in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I bring those today?
I will be on the lookout next time I'm in New Zealand. Last time we were there, I didn't see any of that.
Or Australia.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah, it was a good week though.
Mm-hmm. Got, I think last time I had a listing appointment, and so we got that agreement all signed and started having all the vendors walk through all that fun stuff. I think a lot of listings are coming up. Oh, something really cool. So like a win for the week. I got a referral from someone I've never even met in person. It's just from my marketing. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So like a client that lives, or someone that lives out at Ames Lake referred someone that she knew to me. And I've never met her in person. So all she's seen is like my mailers and my marketing. So
The person that referred had never met you.
no.
Referred the other person. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So Mike and I have a listing appointment this weekend.
That's a good one. That was a good one. It got me thinking about like my week, and I was like, oh yeah, rock through a car window.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't even my car. So we had a good week, but like I got a call yesterday where it's like from my wife. She's like, it's been taken care of. It's been handled. I'm like, don't start a conversation like that. The boys told the truth. What happened? They were throwing rocks at a tree in our yard, but there was a car parked on the other side of the tree. And Ashton put a rock through. You know how some cars have like a tiny window right in front of the side view mirror?
Oh, yeah.
Of the whole car he could have hit, he hit this tiny window that's like this big, but he drilled it. Like it is a clean hole through. I don't think I could do that. But yeah, now we got to replace a window.
I actually like the way it looks with the hole in it better. What do you guys think, right? Like you just try to sell it?
I don't know how he hit that thing, but well, I know how he hit it, but just that's the one window he hit, not the one that like functions and if it breaks, all that stuff's inside of the door panel. Like it was just this tiny little window.
I'd say accuracy-wise, sign him up for baseball, but considering he was aiming at the tree,
Yeah.
I know, right? God. But yeah, we had a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you've had several listing follow-up stuff too.
Yeah. I did a round of calls this week to buyers that had bought with me during the past 2 years, 3 years. Kind of during that window of time where interest rates really sucked.
Like up in the 8s almost, yeah.
Yeah, 7.25, things like that. And so calling these clients who are normally getting solicitations anyways to like refinance, right? And calling them and like, hey, Mike, well, you know, what's going on? Well, it's like, look, I'm not really in my lane right now, but I've been paying attention to, this is more of a lender thing, but I've been paying attention to rates. I can't remember exactly what your particular rate was because you're not always like paying attention to those details. I said, but here's where rates are at. And I'd say about 50% of those calls, the people are like, oh yeah, no, my rates are much higher than that. I was like, well, so what should I do? I was like, well, I'm not telling you do or don't do anything, but just like be on top of it. And if you're thinking makes sense to do it, we should explore this. I would go back with that lender or another lender, whoever you're comfortable with, and then look at what your options look like to save some real money on a refi.
Is there any downside of refinancing?
Not necessarily a downside. Well, so when you refinance, you're taking an old loan and replacing it with a new loan, right? Well, there's some costs. So there's a component that, and a lot of people will just roll that into the principal. So add those costs that it takes to do the refinance, add them on top of the principal, and then just that's my new loan. So if my loan amount was going to be $100,000 and it's $5,000 to do the refi, I'm actually just going to have a loan for 105. So there's a little bit of that. But the other one is like, if you do a refi and you want a 30-year fixed loan, and let's say you're 2 or 3 years into already paying on that loan, you're going to get a new term. So you're going to go from 27 and a half or 28 years left on your mortgage to back to 30.
And you typically on mortgages, you're paying most of the interest up front. So your principal balance is going to go It's like your loan is just kind of renewed for 30 more years. You didn't really pay off anything in the past 2.5, 3 years.
The big thing you're going to be ending up doing, well, you did, I mean, you decreased the principal, but it might be like a few percent, 3-4%, something like that, because you're so front loaded on interest on those. So it's just getting the rate down, and which means get your payment down.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a significant amount.
The summarized goal of refinancing is to get a lower mortgage payment.
Take advantage of lower rates, lower your monthly payment. Yeah, you might have a renew the term or whatever, but if your payment's $200-$400 a month less, that's real money.
And you were talking to someone about that, and you're like, "Oh, that's what you're at," and that's going to be like $300-$400.
Well, the one of them was at 7.25, and like life happened. They had a kid, things were going on. I don't think they got married. No, I think they had just been married, but they had a baby, the whole 9 yards, the pregnancy, all of that. So their attention was elsewhere. And he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm just over 7." And he's like, "Well, what are they at now?" I was like, "A hair under 6." Like, we're talking a big savings right now for that particular client.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of that, and they were, the other half of the clients, they were either aware of it, or some were like, "Actually, my rates are better. I bought it down, or I refinanced recently." That's cool. I'm just calling to remind you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you have to gain out of that?
I mean, technically it's like a point of contact. It's not an opportunity to talk to a client, but I don't gain anything.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, oh, I'm bringing maybe potentially not new business, but business back to this lender because they're handling the refinancing. You're not
because exactly, because of those, let's say 40-ish people or 35, 40 people I called, not all of them were with the same lender. They're all with some of them were with the lenders that they chose. Some were with referrals of mine, but it was more just to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because life kind of has that pattern of kind of taking our eye off the ball sometimes to other things.
And that's probably good for you as a broker because, say, no one goes into, I'm assuming, a 30-year loan with the thought of, I'm going to be in this house for 30 years. Obviously, it's like that's your contractual obligation to pay off that loan, were that to be the case. But with that touch point for you, when they're ready to sell, find something new, upsize, downsize, whatever. Oh, who was just like looking out for me was Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of
there was a component of that. So one of the clients was like, "Oh, you guys continue to surprise us," is what he said. Mm. He's like, "Because like this seems to be over and above and beyond what normal brokers do." I was like, "Well, it's kind of what we do. Like we really care to make sure that our clients are happy or in the best possible position." Had another client that he's like, "Hey, I was gonna call you today."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, I guess my ears were burning." He's like, "Well, I need to sell this other house that I have in Edmonds." I was like, "Okay, well," he's like, "Can we get some time on the calendar, et cetera, et cetera?" I was like, "Perfect." Kind of got that dialed in and said, "It's not actually why I was calling though. I was just calling to talk to you about your rate and like paying attention to it." He's like, "No, I appreciate that." So there was a knock on benefit, sure. But yeah, we don't get anything for those kinds of calls.
I also think those kinds of calls, it's like, that's gonna save them a significant amount of money. And even though they're probably getting an email or something from their previous lender saying, "Hey, rates are different," think about how many times you get an email from Wells Fargo or Bank of America that says something, and you're like, delete. Like when someone calls you, it's different. It's like, oh, Mike's calling.
100%. So actually I talked with one of the lenders that has a good percentage of those clients. And he's like, "I'm going to call all my realtor partners and tell them to do this because some of the names you gave me on that were had been associated with him." It's like, "We've been trying to get a hold of them for months and they're not taking any messaging, any calling from us."
We tend to have a different relationship than mortgage lenders have, right? Like we're out in the thick of it with the clients and getting to learn them personally and all of that stuff. Whereas mortgage is a little more behind this. It's like phone call and email sort of situation.
Well, we get to build that rapport and all those things, and they're a little bit more transactional. So that was a big win for me this week. Was that
absolutely
making an impact for a good chunk of people.
I would say the last thing that I really like that we've started is we've started meeting like Mike and I weekly and kind of checking in. We have what we call a scorecard and accountability partners. Stuff.
No. Accountabilibuddy.
I know you like that word better.
Accountability partner. Who says that?
I did. Okay, accountability buddy. Accountability.
Accountability. I'm gonna get shirts made.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should put in a patent's not the right word, but you should.
Trademark that.
Yeah.
I think someone probably
They
has.
add new words to the dictionary every year.
If we spell it differently.
That's not a new one though, but accountability. Like
Yeah.
we could wear shirts when we do that.
Okay. I mean, we can consider that. If it was like right there on the sleeve, that would be cool. Like a Balenciaga little.
For
just
half a
right
second,
there.
I thought he was gonna say if we got matching tattoos or
That's
something.
what I thought he was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I have my tattoo I get to remember for the rest of my life.
So scorecard.
Yes, the scorecard. It's been cool. It kind of does like real estate related stuff and then personal stuff, and it just kind of keeps you on track for the next week. And I think the thing that I've noticed is I keep going back to it, and I'm like, I have to reach out to this many people, and I don't have that many buyers. Well, how do I get some more buyers? I need to do some open houses. So it's like it just puts you in that frame of mind. I want to get this amount, so that way when I talk to him next week, yeah, I talked to this many buyers.
It's like when you're in school. I'm like, do your homework. Or you have a big project or whatever. We're gonna have intermittent check-ins on your big project. Like, oh crap, I better finish my homework.
Yep.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. So that's been cool. We started it this year, so this was like our first official check-in on Wednesday.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to
We
doing
even got binders.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fancy. Carry it around with you.
I'm gonna make that S shape. Remember back in the day?
Yeah.
We'll put those on.
I'll
the
make the
binder.
whole smile for you. I can make the MILE too. It's all bubble letters.
We have to do it.
One of the things that I thought would be fun to talk about today, because we've gotten the question a few times, kind of like a behind the scenes real estate stuff, is like, how do real estate agents get paid? Because some people think we make a salary every month, right? Like Windermere pays us.
Some people think it's like selling Sunset,
Oh.
where we just get driven around in fancy cars and make millions of dollars on every transaction.
Yeah, just by walking through a house.
Yeah.
Damn, clearly haven't listened to episodes 10 through 20 of Property Pairings to find out what car you drive and that it's covered in Cheerios and goldfish.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, some people think that like the real estate companies provide cars for you. That's why a lot of the cars are white. That was an interesting one that I'd heard before.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, do you guys just like have like a car rental system and you just get to drive? And it's like, nope, this. I gotta pay for all of it.
You do have a white car.
I'm realtor white. It's my favorite color.
Huh.
So
Huh.
we actually have to pay Windermere every year a certain amount of money.
And that is your brokerage fee?
Well, there's two kind of models, right? Typically in the industry, if you're not talking about, well, there's some brokerages also have their own thing, but the most typical models are desk fee, where it's kind of like rent every month, or you pay a split. So the brokerage is going to take some percentage of your income, up to usually 50% of your income, up to a certain amount. Some brokerages, it continues after that too.
Mhm.
They'll drop the percentage they're going to take from you after you've hit your split with the company, but it never goes away. They're always going to take a percentage.
Yep. So there's several, I mean, probably us combined, it's pretty close to $100,000 a year if we're talking about desk fees and transaction fees and,
and
all of that come out. We're close to, that's what we have to pay a year just to be associated with Windermere.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, there's still taxes. There's marketing expenses. There's retirement savings.
Yeah, I mean that gets all kind of like all the kind of the cost side of things, but then how we get paid is kind of what's kind of a dovetail into that too. Is like we get paid either through our agreements with our sellers and our agreement, or what a seller is offering. Typically, what the seller is offering as compensation there. So it's not. You'll see like what the people will do quick math, right? They'll say, oh, it's $1 million and this is what the commission is. Like,
Yeah.
It's not quite that way.
Yeah, there's not been a time where the property is $1 million, you're getting offered 2.5%. I'm not taking home $25,000. I mean, on the initial paperwork, it'll say $25,000, and then it comes and it goes through and it subtracts out Windermere fees, transaction fees, splits. Uh, we donate money out of every transaction.
Errors and omissions and things like
Yeah.
that, and some of the donations we make.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me actually, did you ever remember your first job and you got your first paycheck?
Oh yeah.
And you're like, you're doing the math in your head. I worked this many hours and I'm getting this much per hour, so I'm gonna make this. And then you get your paycheck and like, who are all these people that are taking my money?
You look at the stub and you're like, wow, like 2% here and
Yep.
Yeah.
10% here and this. Who is this going to?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you learn what Social Security is. And
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
You're like, what?
My favorite was also like we would do because our income is pre-tax.
Mm.
Depending on how you're structured, like having the company withhold your taxes for you, which
Right.
you don't normally think about when you have maybe a more conventional job where the company does that for you and they're paying that for you.
Oh yeah.
So having to do the tax withholdings too is another one.
When we're starting out in the business and you're not, like, you could have 3-6 months without a closing. And so then you're still having to pay all of your bills and your fees and you have no closing. So you're just losing money and you don't have a paycheck coming at all. So that part's crazy. Any questions that you have? Like,
Yeah,
how
I
do you
was
get
gonna
paid?
say follow-up question, maybe not so much as to the how you make money or how you get paid, but with all that context that you just established, maybe can you speak to benefits, right? Of like, okay, you guys are within Windermere Real Estate Brokerage. You obviously have your own group, or that's what I would call it. I guess I have a friend's family that does the same thing under a different brokerage, which shall not be named on this podcast, but you guys have your own group. So I guess question of like benefits of being under a brokerage like Windermere Real Estate. Is there a required amount of time that like when you become a broker, you have to be under a brokerage versus just being like, oh, I'm going to go start Pavone Kinzler Realty.
I'll start with the first one.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, I'll take the second question because that's actually kind of, in order to be able to practice real estate, you have to hang your license somewhere.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And depending on what your licensing is, so if you're a broker, just going and practicing real estate, it has to be hung somewhere. You have to have a managing or designated broker. So like brand new broker, are they going to go start their own bricks and mortar? No, they're going to go find a brokerage, and there's different models. They're going to go find a brokerage that works for them. Some brokerages, like a Windermere, is a little bit more particular about who they'll bring on as independent contractors to come work there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of typically the format that goes.
And then as far as like us hanging our hat with the Windermere, there's information that you think about is market share. So which brokerage has a good amount of market share in the area? How do they get the most listings and buyers in the areas that you're trying to service? Because that's something you can talk to. Collaboration is really important. As far as fees go, we have a whole front desk staff that helps out with email marketing and like one-off assistant type things up there. You get the whole office space. You have printers, copiers. You have
Conference rooms. I mean, all of that.
Yep. The owners of the company, they do all of these crazy stats for the area. So you have talking points every month to talk to a client. You can look at it without you having to do those things yourself.
And then one that probably doesn't rise to the top that most people think about is also the backing of the brand too, but not just like the name, the relationships they have. So like with our associated counsel when you have a problem. So if you go start your own brokerage, if you don't have, a kind of an attorney relationship, like, and if you're running into a problem, so all of that infrastructure is there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big chunk of why.
And they offer like technology type things too, right? Like presentation stuff, CRM stuff. That's all kind of included in your brokerage fee. So that's extremely helpful. Those are things that if you didn't have it, you're having to find these one-offs and trial and error. Then you have classes that staff teach you to learn those things. It's a lot of good training, it's a good vibe. I enjoy Windermere,
Nice.
Yeah.
so it's worth the money.
Yeah. Well, I kind of have a little more curiosity off that other question as far as like, would there ever be a point that like, maybe you don't have to speak to it for yourselves, but someone who was in your position, it's like, okay, you market yourselves still as your own team, right? Underneath Windermere, but would someone ever, what would be a benefit of them, I don't know, not starting their own brokerage? I don't know if that's the proper
No,
question.
that would be
That's,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could we do that now? 100%.
Because right, in theory, you're taking a lot of those clients with you. You're already working off a lot of referrals, but then it's probably to the other point of, okay, now we have to think through all of these additional
Well,
costs that fall on us.
costs are systems,
Yeah.
and so when I first started in the business, it was there was a big point of importance to me for to be able to maintain your kind of your own identity and your own self. And so building systems that were you could partition and isolate should you need to. Because even if like you're just going to go from one company to another, you got to haul all that stuff with you, whether it's email services, things like that. So intentionally by design, we've kind of created ourselves in a position where, let's say we were going to go from Windermere to some other brand, or we were going to start our own one. We could literally flip a switch and be up and running without missing a beat. Could we do it? Absolutely. I have the licensing to be able to go start the brokerage as a managing broker. You're going to be getting yours too. Could we do that? 100, yeah, absolutely. When we kind of put this in the grand scheme of things we're working on, do we kind of talk about it maybe a little bit? Sure. But kind of our vision, even some of the highest producing brokers in our area, they're still hanging their hat at like a Windermere.
Yeah. The amount of, like, you get accounting help. There's so much help that you get. And so the fee, if you were to go do that on your own, the fee that we pay it's subsidized really.
There's an
between
economies of scale
everyone
there.
else here. So that's the benefit. But if when we grow and we got like a full on team under us, it might make sense to separate and do our own thing. Because there are some things, you have brand standards. So there's things Mike and I cannot do and have the Windermere brand associated with it. So that those things like prohibit.
If that mattered to us enough right now, sure, we could do that. But we're really happy with what they offer, all the things Eric kind of talked about. So for us, we're good. But to answer your question, yeah, very simply, you could if you have the basic requirements. Yeah, you could.
And depending on how brokerages go in the future, like we're prepared for that as well. Maybe it does go to like just a bunch of boutique brokers, and that's the new thing.
Could be, yeah.
So, hotkey question of the day: is new construction overrated?
Is new construction overrated? In our immediate area, I would almost say yes. And my reason for that is this. You pay a premium to get new construction homes, and that premium is even over something as compared to something that's even 2 years old. And so when I look at homes that are new construction for clients and I say, okay, well, what is the value of this 2026 build versus this 2024 build or this 2015 or earlier? What are you really paying for here? We really try to do a good job of bracketing that, because if you're going to pay an extra 10% more on let's say a $2 million or $2.5 million purchase, 10% more for something of equivalency, and maybe this house has the latest color palette and that one has gray.
Yeah.
I would say it's a little bit overrated at times. Now, if the client, that's what they want, that's what they get. The other thing that also kind of we do, and kind of as a little asterisk here that we factor in, is like you get a lot more of the entire property when you buy like resale. So something that was 20 years old, you get a bigger piece of land in a very nice area. Maybe the house is functionally not as current, but there's a lot of benefits to something that is just a little bit older.
Yeah, I agree. I think new construction, the funny thing about new construction is you see their prices and they're always really close or exactly what they listed for. But on the back end,
You see
tons of credits
you see the discounts and the incentives that they're offering.
because they'll have a whole community, and they want that community to look like it's sold for 1.5 million. Every house in there is like listed around 1.5. So maybe you buy that house, but on the back end, you got upgraded appliances that equaled 15,000. You got your rate buy down, which was 30,000. So you're getting.
They'll get like, let's say it's 1.5. They'll give you, we'll give you $60,000 to play with.
But then on paper, it closes for 1.5. So no one knows that you got all of this credit on the back end. So that's the interesting thing about new construction is they do sell at that price on paper, but in reality, there's all of these like discounts that you negotiate in the back end.
And some of those you don't even see attached in the MLS. They're buried in paperwork. You'll get an appliance package upgrade that's worth $20,000, but really the upgrade is only worth 10. But there goes 20 grand of that whatever money they said you get to play with.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors there too.
Yeah.
Is there fine print on what those credits have, like parameters, right?
It's kind of what you do in the contract, but that's also a whole other situation because it's typically not our normal MLS contracts. You signed a builder contract, which essentially protects the builder, right? It's just like, they're long. Some of them are like 50, 60 pages long of a builder contract, and you're just reading through and it's like builder protection, builder protection, builder protection, and it's not meant for your client. There's some builders that won't even let you attend the final walkthrough. Like let the buyer's agent attend. It can only be the buyer because they don't want us coming in saying like, oh, this looks wrong. Like someone like Mike who knows every wrong thing about a house by looking at it, him going in there and pointing this out, that's not beneficial to a builder. So they write that in the contract. He can't attend.
So, yeah, I mean, on a lot of levels,
yeah,
I think that the best we can say is that at the end of the day, too, going in eyes wide open, like we'll make sure that you know what you're walking into, and it's a whole thing you have to kind of onion. You kind of have to peel through there with the client. But would I consider them to be overrated? A little bit.
Yeah.
It's like getting a new car. Just wait like 2 years.
Yeah.
Or get the one that just drove off the lot like last month and then someone changed their mind. I get that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand the draw in certain regards, but yeah, I struggle with stuff that doesn't appear to have any like individuality to it. You know, obviously I think some of those older Seattle homes, 50s, 60s, that 70s even, that it's like, okay, there's some like character here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're not going like that old, but yeah, so many of these ones, the term I use is cookie cutter. I hate cookie cutter homes.
Yeah.
I feel like there'll be a good enough lot somewhere on a corner of Seattle. Some builder comes in and they're like, great, we're going to stick 5 of these townhomes that are basically
the same
1-bedroom apartments, but just stacked where you can claim more square footage, and they're all sharing walls, and it's like, but you own it,
Yeah,
and it's going for $800,000 because of the city of this, and I'm like, this isn't anything special to me.
Yeah.
That kind of speaks a little bit more to like zoning and all that. But I think kind of what you might be hitting on too is that there's an equation that works at any given time. This many bedrooms, this many bathrooms, this level of finish, this color palette, and everything adopts it. And they beat it into the ground. So like the Minecraft houses you see out there, like they're kind of moving away from those.
Yeah.
The color palette is changing. Like we're moving off of certain colors and into different colors, right? But the industry just kind of does this like pendulum swing back and forth. And so, yes, to your point, like there's a lot of character loss in these homes.
I'm going to start using that.
The Minecraft homes?
Minecraft houses, that's good.
That's what they look like.
Yeah.
That or they look like container boxes stacked on top of each other.
Really good. I'm going to use that.
So, yeah, I mean, that's one of my, for me personally, yeah, we had the townhouse and that was 2003, but that still had character, kind of a craftsman-y look to it. Any of our other homes, in the 70s or older, You just get a lot. You get a lot of house
Mm-hmm.
and a lot more space typically. There's a lot to write home about.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us here on episode 37 of Property Pairings. I'm Mike Pavone.
Eric Kinzler.
Thank you for joining us. Remember to click like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.